See if I can get it right. Okay. Are you ready?
I am now.
You look good, Ben. You look good.
I feel good. God, I feel good. It's such a good weekend.
Good. Let me start off.
Yep.
Hey, guys. Road to Ruta people and Bitcoin Ben people. Very special guests on both sides. We love each other. It's
Absolutely.
some kind of strange man love going on. Which after your video this morning, I don't know what to think. I am confused beyond belief. What was that?
That was me and my wife having just having a little fun. You know, the Blues are in the cup. The finals for hockey, and we haven't been here in years, and I mean the whole friggin' town's like excited. We're all like pumped up that we're even in the big game, and big games.
I still have no idea why you dressed up the way you did and got naked and not naked.
There's a song that the Blues team actually plays in the locker room. It's Gloria.
Okay, I got it now.
And so what I did was I tried to recreate the scene from the movie Flashdance where they play Gloria and she's out there dancing in this like tight black like whatever you call it, like a jumper or
leotard or something.
Exactly, leotard. And so that's what I did. My neighbors were just dying laughing. They're like, "Oh, look at Ben out fucking being crazy again."
It took balls, and I was confused. Thank you for the clarification of why you were doing that. I'm sure it'll get a lot of views, though, which is good for your YouTube channel, right?
Actually, it got demonetized because of music, which is all right. I wasn't actually trying to like make money off of it or anything. I did it for fun.
Are you sure it wasn't demonetized because you have Bitcoin Ben and a leotard?
That might be part of it. They were like, "This is not, and no one should view this. This is so ugly."
But you do have some great dance moves. I was noticing your dance moves, and man, you blow me away.
Well, you know, back in the day, I used to shake a leg or two. How are you doing? You look good. I mean, you like your color looks good, and you're slimming up, and boy, you look younger. Actually,
I actually am on a well, it's part of this year-long. I like to call it a vision quest. It's a spiritual program I'm working. There's about I think there's 30 or 40 of us doing it. It all sprang out of the Acapulco conference. A bunch of Road to Ruta people are doing it. Working with this guy Christoph, who's unbelievable, Melchizedek. And the second month of it is the cleanse, where you cleanse your body organs, you cleanse your stomach, your intestines, your brain. It's 1 week of just raw foods, like foods that nature supplies, like fruits and vegetables and nuts, but nothing cooked, and no wheat and no dairy. You can eat some raw fish. I'm sure you're very excited about that. But also, and then the second week, so it's a 3-week cleanse. Second week is smoothies. You basically take everything you were eating before and you put it in a blender, and then you have smoothies.
Would coffee, would that be considered a smoothie? Oh, yeah. Hey, guys. Weir has his own coffee brand now. Look at that, Horn of Z's. That's a good-looking label, too.
I love it. Yeah. Nick hooked me up. So, yeah, wow. You guys can try both. You could do a taste testing of the Bitcoin Ben coffee and the Road to Ruta Horn of Z's coffee. But yeah, I can't drink it right now because it has caffeine in it.
From what I understand, yours, like mine's a pretty strong, heavy coffee, and I think yours is more like a medium, like a smoother blend.
That's exactly it. Yeah. If you
It
want to be manly, go to Ben's Coffee. If you want to be kind of wimpy and wake up in the morning to a nice cup of coffee and a horn of Z's, get mine. But you can get it at Hot Fuel. Go to the Hot Fuel website.
Yes, please, everyone watching my feed, please jump on, I think it's huddlefuel.com.
Yeah.
And grab you some Horn of Z's coffee, because Hicks, he had so much content and value to the cryptocurrency world, not just cryptocurrency, also like politics and like gold and silver, and he's out there like warning people about I like to call him douchebag, but letting people know like the red flags that you see, and you're like, hey guys, this is not good.
Yeah, I mean, anything to me, and cryptos fit right in this, anything freedom related to our liberty, related to breaking free of the people who have controlled us is the stuff I like to talk about and investigate. Deutsche Bank being a key component of the potential banking collapse. A lot of people say, no, they'll just bail them out again. I don't see a bailout coming in the United States. I don't think there's any political will anymore for a bailout. I think I think Trump is doing all this stuff with the trade to help destroy the current system. I think everything seems to be coming to a head on the road to Ruta now, so that we're going to have some chaos this summer. Yeah,
I actually watched your interview on the X22 Spotlight, and that was a great interview. I mean, you really laid out, the ifs, ands, and whys of like, all right, guys, this is what I see. This is what I think is coming. And what I like about you is you have so much information that you back it up with. It is, me, I know a lot of people who I talk to, and there's like two of them that will come on my show, like Trace Air and like other influential people will actually talk to me, but then they won't like let me use their name. You have like documentations on the road to Ruta that it's like undeniable. You have like the documents showing what you're saying.
That's why I love the people who say, Bix, you don't know what you're talking about, the gold in the Grand Canyon. That's ridiculous. There's only 2,000 tons of gold in the world. What are you talking about? And then I'll just walk them through step by step how I discovered it. Because, when Jeffrey Christian of the CPM group tells me there's 2,000 tons of gold in the world and the rest of the world believes him, I want to check that out. I want to make sure he's correct. And then you go down that path and you're like, oh my God, there's gold here, there's gold there. You read this book called Gold Warriors by Sterling and Peggy Seagrave, all about Yamashita's gold in the Philippines. And these people literally spent their lives researching this stuff, tons of documentation. They write this book, they had their lives threatened many, many times not to go there, not to go there, not to go there, and have documented hundreds of thousands of tons of gold that nobody even knows exists. And it's true stuff.
If you look at even the ancient, like, what were they? I think they were Mayans. That community alone probably had 2,000 tons of gold. They were literally building cities out of gold.
Yeah, same with the Incas, all over the world you'll find gold wasn't used as money by the Incas or the Mayan. It was more ceremonial. It was for clothing and decoration because there was so much of it. And then
that's what's crazy.
I know. And then the Spanish come in. The Spanish come in and say, "Oh my God, this is money to us," and destroy pretty much all of South America and Mexico and in hunt of gold. And there's a great story about the leader of the Incas that was basically taken hostage by the Spanish and said, "Hey, you have to fill." I think it's called the Sun Temple in Cusco, right near Machu Picchu. You need to fill this whole place with gold, and then we'll let you go. So his followers didn't care about the gold all that much. So they filled this gigantic room with gold, and then of course the Spanish killed everybody and took the gold, and nobody knows where that gold went. And it's like, it disappeared?
Yeah, off the planet. They took it off the planet.
Maybe.
Jay, you never know. Let's ask old Cliff High about that.
Exactly.
It's what you just said. Now I'm going to link this with cryptos.
Everything links to cryptos.
Right. It shows you how the Incas and the Mayans, they had gold, but as a community, they didn't value it as a currency. And it shows you really how currency is just a shared agreement amongst a community, where the Spanish come over and they're like, oh, this is currency to us. And then you have like the Incans and the Mayans are like, what do you mean, this stuff? Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, it's pretty and it doesn't really decay, but we got this is laying around everywhere. We trip over it, and but it's what you value. It's what the community values, and the rate of adoption of cryptocurrencies. In fact, I actually just got off of a Zoom call with an XRP guy that I'm doing an interview with tomorrow, and he actually helped me set up an account on a thing called Coil. I had never heard of it. I didn't know what it was, and it's a company that is like the equivalent of the Brave browser using the actual basic attention token, except they utilize XRP and I think US dollar. I don't know how they do the whole US dollar thing, but and not that I'm jumping over to XRP, I just wanted to learn the technology, and there's so much energy moving into crypto and so many people and creative destruction in cryptocurrency and platforms and advancement in technology is moving so rapidly that, hell, you know what I'm talking about. You hear about something, and then a month later, that something you thought was new is now obsolete because of something was created.
Absolutely. And if you contrast that with the old financial system that hasn't invented anything, literally anything, since probably the credit card, the old financial system, I mean, innovation in the old financial, and I was there for a long time, innovation is zero. You know why it's zero? Because they got a good thing, and they concentrate on protecting it, getting the regulators in there to chase after those crazy crypto people who want to deal outside the system. All the innovation for them is on the protection of the old system, not evolving the old system and making it better.
Are you kidding me? Regulators are there to protect the system? No way.
It's night and day. And the, I mean, one of the biggest things, because I did watch your XRP debate with the XRP guy, and I learned a lot as well, and it was good stuff. You know, the big thing to me, and I know you're all into the camp of you know, it's the energy you put in to creation of the money that gives it value and things like that. I'm more of, I take that and I look at it, and why is that true? To me, it's all about scarcity. So if you and the energy expended, for example, you know, running the blockchain in Bitcoin versus something like you know, XRP, it's night and day, because the Bitcoin has that scarcity because of the way it's mined. So it is built, it is a programmed scarcity, so that, you know, in whatever it is, 2135, the very last, the 21 million Bitcoin will be mined. I did a calculation on other cryptocurrencies, and like something like EOS, my favorite, EOS, they have a 5% compound inflation rate on that. In 2135, there's going to be 350 billion EOS tokens out there. And it just, when Bitcoin hits 21 million, EOS will have 350 billion. Now, granted, I am comparing a platform called EOS to a cryptocurrency called Bitcoin. And there's a reason for Bitcoin's scarcity in the way it's set up. Same with Litecoin. But with EOS, I mean, if you want to deal in a hyperinflationary, completely centralized, mutable blockchain, go play with EOS. It's great for CryptoKitty. If you want to play with something that's going to be sound for the future, where you don't have to trust human beings, use other things like Bitcoin or Litecoin. And I just think the scarcity factor always has to be taken into account when you're talking about cryptos. And, you know, and that's, to me, that's the key of money. That's why the Incas and the Mayans didn't use gold as money, is it was too plentiful. You need something scarce and something definable, really. I mean, that's what really helps a lot. If you can define the total supply of a currency, then you can judge its value. But if, you know, something like EOS that has compound interest forever, you know, you can't define that. Well, you can define it. It's hyperinflationary.
Yeah, and that I go really deep into currency economics, because anything you're going to use as a true currency, and I mean like like gold, has a cost of pulling it out of the ground. And when I say that the very lowest level of every economic system and every currency system is energy, what I mean is there's human labor energy, which there is a formula which gets really deep of calories burned per hour of labor. And then you have electricity creation of like the actual process of the mining of Litecoin and mining of Bitcoin. At the floor, at the very bottom, is energy. Like when you're take a shovel and you're digging out gold, you're using energy to do that. And that energy has a cost of you eating food. So what you pay for the food that you ingest in order for that energy has a cost, whether it's your own labor cost or if you went to the grocery store, you know, and that structure of value added, value added economics, the floor is energy at every point, whether it's human labor energy or the mining energy to create the actual Litecoin. That has a cost to it. And the only true currency has to have a cost of energy of creation. Because if it doesn't, it has no value.
I've heard you say that like 4 or 5 times, and the more times I listen to it, the more sense it makes. When I first heard you say that, I'm like, no, cost doesn't mean necessarily that it gets added to value. But if you are looking at a form of money that is agreed upon and recognized form of money, of course you're going to have to put that cost of creation in, add it to whatever value you have that you're valuing the money at. So, I mean, the more you talk about that, I'm sure 5 years from now, I'm really going to understand when you say that. And I'm going to say, didn't do it years ago. I'm not quite there yet, because I was always because people would, I keep reflecting back to when people told me that gold has intrinsic value. And I was always like, no, nothing has intrinsic value. We all place value on things if we choose or not. If I'm on a desert island, I have a sandwich or a bar of gold, I'm going to choose the sandwich all day long. But they'd say, well, no, it's got intrinsic value because of the cost of the mining. And I would say, no, that's intrinsic costs. You know, again, the guy on the desert island, he's not going to pick the gold over the sandwich because there's intrinsic value of the cost of digging it out of the ground for the gold. And that's the mindset I need to break away to really understand what you're coming at.
Let me explain it. It is like the idea of value is actually a formula of many aspects of value. You have the creation aspect, the creation cost, and then you have the intrinsic value, and then you have the limited supply value. Then you have the use case value. A true currency has to have all of those in order to actually be a true currency. Right? Gold, the reason we used gold for so long was it actually lined up with all of those. There was a creation cost. There was an intrinsic cost, which means that the people of the community valued it. Then there was a use case cost, which means, you know, a value added. So you could actually take gold and shape it into a ring, or you could shape it into jewelry, or blah, blah, blah. Then you had the ability to exchange gold. Those 4 things is what actually creates a currency. If you don't have one of those, you don't really have a currency. You have something that's useful, but it doesn't fit the mold of a currency, because a currency is used in an economic system. An economic system is not one aspect of the system. It's the whole system. And that currency must be utilized in one way or another inside that whole system. It can't just apply on one. It has to apply to that whole economic system. Well, cryptocurrency, Litecoin and Bitcoin, they match all 4. And they've improved on all of them, because you have the creation cost using the value added economic formula of energy, and then you add value on top of that floor of energy. And then you have the limited supply, which locks in your store of value aspect of currency. And then you have the utility of Litecoin and Bitcoin, where you can store information inside the blockchain and other aspects. And that's where the creative destruction of the advancement of technology of using the blockchains that are immutable, cannot be changed. That's another value of it. And now, and then it has the transferability aspect of going global. So you can transfer Litecoin and Bitcoin so much quicker than you can like gold or silver, that right there blows gold and silver out of the water. So it literally is a digital representation of currency, and out of Bitcoin and Litecoin, the largest community of the global economic system is retail. So retail is where the true economic value, 74 point something percent of the global economy is retail. So although Bitcoin is a great reserve currency of the economic system, Litecoin will be the daily usage coin because it actually fits the structure of a true currency. And then you add on top of the technology of the Lightning Network, and the Lightning Network will utilize Bitcoin more than it will use Litecoin, because Litecoin doesn't need the Lightning Network to resolve like that. And
wait. I mean, Litecoin can't be used for retail transactions on a mass scale without the Lightning Network.
Well, it right now, right? But it's that's what the Lightning or the Litecoin Foundation, if you've noticed over the last year, they've improved the network. And yes, Litecoin will be used on the Lightning Network amongst like corporations, small business, that right there. But the average person, they may use Lightning Network in apps that they have on their phone, and the apps may be linked with a Lightning node. But if I'm transferring you Litecoin on a personal exchange, I'm not going to use the Lightning Network. I'll just send you Bitcoin.
Right.
The split of how much volume is used on the Lightning Network for Litecoin and how much volume actually pings the blockchain will be split amongst the use cases of the individuals and the corporations and the small mom and pops that use the Litecoin. They'll choose which one's more efficient for their use case.
That makes sense.
Right. So that's why I've always said I love Bitcoin, but the coin's going to be Litecoin. And it isn't because I love the logo. I've always said that. I love Litecoin because it is absolutely the most efficient and absolutely the most technologically advanced currency in the world. I love Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a great store of value. But for the daily usage of the globe, it's Litecoin, because Litecoin is structurally a true currency and technologically capable of handling the volume with Lightning Network, as an option of the whole globe.
What do you think about Bitcoin Cash?
No, no, no. There's use case for it, and I'm not saying it's going to die, but it's the globe is not going to use it behind the scenes of platforms because, number one, the reputation is a big issue.
Of Roger and Jihan Wu?
Yeah. And also, like I said, I'm not saying it will go away, but I'm saying that it won't be utilized on a grand, because a lot of it has to do with exchanges. You know, how we get our cryptos is evolving. And the exchanges for a while, at least a few years, are going to be able to direct the coins that are available to the masses. And Bitcoin Cash doesn't have enough friends in the big exchanges that the public trusts to be used. You see what I'm saying? Their relationships with the platforms of availability to the public is not good. And so they're going to have people that actually don't want to use them, not because the coin's not applicable, because it is. They're not going to use it because they don't like Roger Ver. No.
But it does have, I mean, to take, I just watched the debate number 3 between Tone Vays and Roger Ver, and Roger destroyed him.
Oh, absolutely.
Tone is a mental.
Tone Vays an idiot.
Yes.
He's a trader, but you need to go back to the NASDAQ. Trade the NASDAQ. You're not ready for cryptos.
He wasn't ready for the NASDAQ when he left Lehman Brothers. He was like I think he was a copy boy at Lehman Brothers and came to. Anyway, let's not do any.
Yeah. Love your tone. It's all a scam.
It's all a scam.
Yeah.
But you know, one of the ways Roger always wins the argument with Tone is arguing Bitcoin Cash versus Bitcoin as a means of exchange. Bitcoin is not a means of exchange anymore. It is they've locked it up into a store of value, and Tone just can't get. You know, Roger will come out and say, "All right, pull out your phone and let's see how fast this transaction goes through and how expensive is it." Tone should have just stopped him right there and said, "Hey, Bitcoin isn't going to be a means of exchange anymore that can be utilized in that type of scenario. That's why they have Litecoin. Bitcoin is a store of value that will be used by banks and governments to transact on a much larger scale. And yes, it's going to be expensive to use, and yes, it's going to be slow, but that's the ultra security that you get with that blockchain." And I mean, for poor little Tone, he gets eaten up alive when, as soon as Roger pulls out his phone and says, "Okay, you do a Bitcoin transaction and I'll do a Bitcoin Cash transaction. Let's see who's faster and cheaper."
And I'm not trying to. Well, I guess I did actually just down Tone Vays, but I'm not going to talk bad. He's wrong. And saying he's wrong is not an insult. I've been wrong. Everyone's been wrong, but he's not willing to listen and accept when he's wrong. The reason that I know that Litecoin is going to be the right coin, as you coined, and now everyone's using that slogan.
I need to trademark that little TM.
Yeah, No doubt. You should have trademarked it, like charged.
It's copywritten. The song's copywritten.
Hey, there you go.
Close enough.
Is what one of the aspects of a currency is the availability to the general public of the community. Litecoin is on every exchange out there. There's not an exchange in the world that goes, I'm not going to offer Litecoin.
It's beloved too. It's beloved by the people.
Yeah, everyone loves Litecoin, or at least no one's got anything against Litecoin. You know, you don't have to love Litecoin, but you definitely don't have anything against it, because it literally is. It is the silver to Bitcoin's gold. It's just a digital silver, and the Lightning, and what cements that in is the Lightning Network and the atomic swap capability of Litecoin with Bitcoin. I mean, that's literally like a digital representation of a global exchange of gold and silver, because you can literally pay with Bitcoin and get your change in Litecoin, and it's instantaneous. And that right there brings such a liquidity into each of the markets that, and anybody who knows anything about currency economics is liquidity and velocity are such important necessary aspects of a currency that just that feature alone has value. So people who are like Litecoin's a test net for Bitcoin, they obviously don't understand currency economics. And I think that's where people miss out, and they don't wrap their head around Litecoin, because they've heard somebody say Litecoin's a test bed or a test net for Bitcoin, and they lock in that image and won't let any other knowledge in. And that's where Tone Vaye is. Tone Vaye won't accept any knowledge into his head. And I think that's why he said he used to be a libertarian and now he's not, because he's reverting. He's actually evolving from a human back into a Neanderthal because he's actually going the wrong way. He's swimming against the tide of the rest of humanity.
I agree. Hey Ben, on as far as
sorry, go ahead.
As far as the atomic swaps and Lightning Network, a lot of, obviously they've both been done. They're both up and running. Everybody's working on it. You don't see mass adoption yet, but it's growing very fast. But that's the key to me is you don't need mass adoption yet. You got the banks doing just fine. Everybody's able to transact. The very moment that the banks are unable to transact, that's when you're going to see everybody saying, okay, what are our options? We have Bitcoin Cash. Well, I can't get anything done on Bitcoin Cash because everybody's trying to do it and the blocks aren't big enough. It's just not big enough to scale. I can't get anything done on the Bitcoin mainnet or the Litecoin mainnet. They're not big enough to scale. What are our options? Obviously, the Lightning Network and atomic swaps. Boom, instantly you got everybody running into that. I think they're holding back some of the just how advanced that technology already is, because there's really no use case for it yet. But the use case is going to be the means of exchange, obviously. That's what it's being built for, but it's not needed. We have the banking system, and it's working fine, supposedly, at the moment. The moment that Deutsche Bank goes down, and I discovered something, I'll tell you in 1 second, but the moment that Deutsche Bank goes down, everybody's going to need a new means of exchange, because every bank would fail. 49 trillion. I got an update. It's 49 trillion now.
Holy moly.
But here's a really interesting fact that not many people know, that I just discovered myself. Back in the 1990s, when derivatives were really kind of getting going, one of the biggest derivative players in the U.S. and was one of the criminal bank known as Bankers Trust. Now, Bankers Trust had this huge toxic derivative book, and ultimately they sold that derivative book to Deutsche Bank. And the guy who was in charge of the derivative book right before it got sold was Jerome Powell, the head of the Fed now.
What?
I just found that out. I'm like, do they have the perfect guy in the perfect place for the derivative meltdown that they knew was coming? That's a little Road to Ruta insight for you that I talked about on the private road the other day. It blew my mind that Jerome Powell, because I had rarely heard of him. I knew he was on the board, but I didn't know anything about him. And then I did some research. I'm like, oh my God, he was in charge of derivatives at Bankers Trust that got sold to Deutsche Bank. And Deutsche Bank's always been on the road to Ruta, always been that linchpin to destroy the system, is fire off that weapon of mass financial destruction.
Hey, this is one of the reasons that you guys need to join his. He has a Patreon group, right? And he also has Road to Ruta membership, which if you want like the deep and just like the archive of, and you could be on Road to Ruta as like a road member for the next 2 years. You could. That's how long it would take you to catch up on all the information and the encyclopedia of knowledge that he has on his site. If you join his Patreon, which I think it's only, it's like $10 a month or something like that.
$10 a month, yeah. But the Road to Ruta site, just so people don't sign up for both, if you go to the private road, which is a year membership, that you get all the Patreon stuff as well. So there's
okay.
$10 a month, or the Road to Ruta stuff, which is $2.99 for a year, and you get one Veritasium token mailed to you and a silver Ruta coin.
Yeah, and I heard that you ran out of music boxes.
I did. And there's something in me that says I shouldn't sell my music at all. I should just give it away. And if I was rich enough to do that, I would. So I ordered a bunch more, and when I go around to doing the road shows with you, and I'm going to jump in the car this summer, I'm going to be giving away those music boxes, at least as much as I can afford to do it. And it's got 70 original songs on them, 13 videos. So
I actually think that I think my wife and I bought one when we were in Texas.
Apparently, you listen to it every day. You got to download it onto your iTunes and crank your Litecoin is the right coin.
And my favorite song you do, well, because it has me in it, is Crypto Warrior. I love that song. That song is so good. And I also love They, or Them, or
They, the one about banning us on YouTube.
Yeah, that's a great. You are so multi-talented. The only thing I know is YouTube and like talking into a camera. You can like play music, which when he announces some of his concert tours, I will be showing up at as many of those as I can.
And vice versa, baby.
It's so much fun. I mean, if you've never sat through a jam session with Bix Weir, it is literally like, and in which I think I'm the first person who called you like the father of like crypto folk music.
That was you, yes. You coined that term, but only because I'm so much older than everybody who's doing music in the crypto space.
But I mean, you're like the Bob Dylan of cryptos. You really capture the movement's heart in your music. That's what really hooks me. Is it sounds amazing. And when you listen to the lyrics, it just, it hits you in a place that it it resonates with your human spirit almost. Like your songs are just like, if you took the core of the libertarian cryptocurrency movement and you put it with music, you'd have Big Weir.
Thank you, Ben.
That's what you do.
That's awesome. Thank you. Hey, if anybody wants to come, we're having a big show in Vegas right before the World Crypto World Crypto Conference. Yeah.
Yeah.
And right before the Litecoin Summit. Yeah.
Yep.
It's August 27th. If you want to go, I can send you information. Not many spots left, but we do have some. Send me an email, bix@roadtorudo.com. Bitcoin Ben will be there. Dick Allgaier is bringing his guitar from Hawaii. Jason at 4. It's going to be a blast. And I'm going to get some more crypto guys in there. And then we're also thinking about doing booths during the day. Not for big tech type people, but for like crypto influencers, like our friends on YouTube and stuff like that. So we'll get more details out soon, but the place is secure. It's been paid for, unfortunately, when Litecoin was like at $60, but hey, we got it, right? I know, that damn means of exchange. It's at the Cosmopolitan Hotel. So, and it's a full day event from noon to 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, this is completely his project. I know a few projects that would love to have an actual booth at your event, and like Vanyware or like LifeApp or something that you actually trust, or I mean, it's your gig. I'm actually going there because I'm afraid of Big Weir like fanboy.
Are you speaking at the Litecoin Summit?
I think we both are.
They put me with some crypto influencers. I didn't even know who they were. So I talk to Johnny Litecoin.
Oh yeah. If I speak or if I don't, I just want to be there. I
know. Yeah.
Don't have to,
You're speaking at my thing though. You're probably gonna be singing at my thing too.
Oh no, you don't want that. I can barely talk. You should sing. I'm horrible.
I do confess, Ben, that when I listen to your videos, I put them on 1.5 speed just for the giggles. Oh, it's awesome.
No, my wife dies laughing. She'll be crying. She's laughing so hard.
Hey, we love you. We love you beyond belief. I wanted to cover a couple more things before I have like not much more time. Got like 15 minutes. The EOS announcement, that big thing that Dan Larimer said, oh, this is going to be the biggest thing since it looks like it's a dud. They're down like 6-7% today. To me, my problem with EOS is one simple thing, is that it is a platform. It's a blockchain that's controlled by a small group of people, 21 people. And I'll guarantee you they would shadow ban me if I ever used EOS. So they'd figure out what my public key is, and they would shadow ban me or change my transactions. They have the ability to do that. They've already done it. That is the problem. Other than that, it's great for crypto kitties, in my opinion. And this new announcement is for something called Voice. Have you heard anything about that?
I saw a few posts on Twitter, but I haven't looked into it yet.
Yeah, it's basically they're trying to do a new social media platform. They're trying to get the EOS control structure into social media. But the other thing is Tether. They announced that Tether is going to be on the EOS platform. And I'm like, what in the world? Because they're all owned by the same people.
Yeah,
I call them the crypto cabal. Oh, for so many years, people saying, oh, Bix, you don't know what you're talking about. These are completely separate companies. Bitfinex has nothing to do with Tether, has nothing to do with Block One. They just announced that Tether and EOS and Block One are working with each other on the EOS blockchain. I'm just saying another feather in the cap for Road to Ruta about this company that it's completely untrustworthy in my opinion.
And I'm about some of the issues with EOS that I've had. And just because I know you, they don't like me. Just because I like you, they don't like me. But if they have a social platform on EOS, I can guarantee you I will not be on it. I don't care how popular it gets.
Yeah, we need a social platform, but we just need one that is not controlled by people who are untrustworthy. That's what we got now. That's YouTube and Google and Twitter. The controllers of that are untrustworthy. EOS, The controllers of EOS are untrustworthy. So it's one of these things. It's like, it comes down to the basic concept of what do we want for our future. We want to work with good companies, good blockchains that have trustworthy people. And I think, if you stick with that as your kind of investment guidelines that you navigate this crazy crypto space with, you're going to end up just fine in the end because there's a lot of traps along the way. So make sure you investigate who's involved and then make your decision.
That's one of the reasons I actually originally partnered up with the Life app. Mm-hmm. It's free to download, free to use, and so there's no risk to the people who watch my show. What is somebody going to walk up and go, "Hey, Ben, great job. Damn it, I saved money." And,
Hey.
There's a link under here for the Life app.
There's a link under here for mine. Hey, I've been saving to get my one Litecoin. I want to buy one Litecoin. But the problem is the Litecoin price keeps going up, and I'm not going to spend the money on the Litecoin until I hit it. So I think I'm at like $95 of savings so far. And I'm like, every time I buy something else, I'm like, oh, cool, I'm getting closer. The price of Litecoin jumps. So win-win, baby, win-win.
Hey, I don't mind chasing it. I'll keep shopping like at Home Depot and Lowe's and all the places. I actually went to AutoZone yesterday, and I got a battery for my Jeep, which ran me like $200. Wow.
What are you doing with a new battery for your new Jeep?
The Jeep is actually used. I never bought brand new.
Okay.
So I got a new battery, used my Life app, and the guy who worked at AutoZone, because I like talking to everybody, he's like, "What's this app?" So I shared the app with him, and he was like, I'm going to show this to my customers. So he's actually going to start handing out the app to customers that come in.
Absolutely. And the customer saves and he makes money and everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Life app is cool. Download it. Check it out. Use it.
Yeah. Yeah. You use it and get free crypto.
Hey, Ben, when do you got any meetups scheduled that we can tell people about so they can come see you?
The 22nd of this month, I will be in New Jersey, and I hoped you could actually join us, but you had plans already. But if you go to www.bitcoinben.io, right there is like the location, and we'll be there from 1 until they run out of beer, and.
That'd be 1:30.
Yeah. There's going to be a ton of people there. Apparently, Johnny Litecoin. There's everyone's the East Coast Litecoin team's all going to be there. There's Ripple people there. Everyone's showing up just.
It's like a rumble. It's a rumble.
No, but if you guys want to show up, if you're near New Jersey, come. It's free to get in. We are trying to raise money for the Litecoin Foundation. So we will, we'll be kind of shilling some, donations. But like none of it actually goes to me or Johnny Litecoin or anything like that. It's all to the foundation who's actually doing the legwork on Litecoin. So
that's awesome. Is Litecoin Lisa going to that?
Yes, her husband, and I think her mom. Yeah,
that's awesome. I'm actually, I have a interview with Litecoin Lisa, our first interview together tomorrow morning. So she's a wonderful lady, doing amazing things. So everybody go to Litecoin Lisa's YouTube channel and subscribe to that.
Absolutely. She's great woman, great family.
Yeah.
Very
cool.
That should be a good interview.
I know. I'm looking forward to it. And I'll post it on Road to Ruta YouTube. Hey, Ben, I got to run. So awesome to hang out with you as always. We're talking about times this summer to get together, throw in a little event. I was thinking an outdoor barbecue type of, make a day of it with families and all that. That'd be fun.
I'm actually gonna work on setting up a venue here in St. Louis and actually getting you here in St. Louis.
I'm there.
We're right in the heart of the country, and whether you're east, west, north, or south, it's about the same distance. So,
and you got good barbecue,
right? And I'm gonna try and make it free. But if not, I'm hoping to keep it maybe $5.
Hey, if people are buying Litecoin right now, they're going to be all rich people flying in on their Gulf streams to come see us chat about cryptos.
Exactly. Yeah, I definitely want to get you here in St. Louis, and yeah, like outside barbecue, beer. You'll probably have to pay for your barbecue and beer, but that's actually part of like keeping the cost low. But yeah, hey Bix, I really appreciate you coming on my show and you letting me on your show and
absolutely. Hey, say hi to your family for me. I love them. They're wonderful, and tell them my heart is with them, that they have to put up with you every day in that leotard outfit you're dancing around with.
And you tell Amy and your beautiful family that they're in our prayers for joy and happiness in their lives, and we will hook up soon, brother.
Sounds good. I'll talk to you later, Ben.
Bye-bye, bro.
See ya.